What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm very excited to give you guys another 3 Looks 1 palette. They are going to be churning out quite a bit. There are a lot of holiday releases and just palettes that I have been picking up lately, and I do want to give each palette their own little special moment on my channel. So do be kind. Sometimes they may come out very frequently in a week, sometimes there may be a couple weeks in between. It just depends on when I receive the products and when I have time to truly film behind the scenes. But like I said, this is going to be 3 looks, just like all of my 3 looks. So you're going to have a part where I talk about kind of the background of the palette, then we will go into swatches. I will also go into any comparisons that I can give you guys, and then we will jump into the looks, and then of course lastly the actual current thoughts of the palette. So in the event that you're interested in hearing all of that, let's just get to it. Alrighty, so pretty much like all of their palettes don't really have any information on it, whether it's ingredients, whether it's the amount of product, anything like that. So you do have to go onto their website, but on their website they are now saying, yeah, the products are assembled in South America, but they're actually made in Hong Kong, China, in case you are wondering. Then when it comes to the amount of product, just so that you guys know, this particular palette, it states, is no longer vegan. So it looks like it could have been vegan prior, but unfortunately now they had to add certain ingredients that no longer classifies this as vegan. This, I did get the dark version, so there is a light and dark version, and I believe the only difference is this shade right here, whereas in the lighter version I believe it's like a pink or something. I'm not confident on that, but that is what I believe. Maybe I'll have the images on the screen for you all. In this palette are magnetic pans, so you can switch these out with any of their other palettes or any palettes that you want to use, and they are 23mm square pans. So yeah, and they already are labeled on the back, so you really can manipulate these palettes, which I really appreciate, because in a lot of palettes they'll say that they're magnetic and you can move them around, but then you have to do the labeling. So I really appreciate that the brand already thought about that prior to kind of shipping it out. So those are kind of all of the aspects that you can really say based on the website. So there are 12 shadows in this palette, and there are 5 mattes and 7 shimmer metallic situation. There are a couple that are actually multi-chromes, and you guys will be hopefully getting a better look at that in the swatch area. In the event that you're wondering, this is $53. Although there are some discount codes out there, I don't have one, but I know there are a couple that I've been able to use in my experience of purchasing from this brand as well. So that's pretty much all of the kind of background, if you will. If you're wondering, I believe this is the 3rd palette that I've picked up from the brand, and I have one on its way. I have the Ninhydrin palette coming in for me, and I'm very excited to be playing with that one as well. There may be 1 or 2 others that I want, but I really only want the palettes that have mattes and shimmers, so those are the ones that I'm actually picking up. But that said, if you are interested, on the screen right here I will have my kind of Instagram worthy swatch photo. In this photo I will be doing 2 swatches or more depending on the necessity, and this is just a photo that I like to do just so that you can see the potential color on somebody's complexion if you are similar to mine. Once we get into the swatches, I will be doing only 1 swatch comparisons, as long as I don't goof up and pick up the smallest amount of product ever. And in those comparison situations you'll really see the kind of pigmentation capability, really, if you were only swatching it once. Of course, swatches don't tell the whole story. I would always recommend that you take the time to watch the tutorials, because those really show you what they look like on my complexion and how much pigment you can really get. But yeah, I think that's all I have to talk about, and yeah, let's just go ahead and get into the swatching part of this video. Okay guys, so I just wanted to let you guys know that I am filming this part of the video later than I normally do. So I did just go ahead and add 1 additional light that I typically will add when I'm actually filming at night. It's not truly night, but the color seemed a little off, and this is now true to color. Anyways, this is the Amunet palette. As you can see, it's very simple kind of faux leather packaging, and there's a very simple lettering on the front. As always, there is a mirror in the top, and then here are the shadows. So this is what the palette looks like, and I'm really happy I actually put that additional light because it looks very true to color right now. And of course, what I'm going to do is just swatch them. I've been liking just kind of blanking out the background and just putting some music in the background just for a calming kind of interlude between all of the talking. So that's what I'm going to do again. And then of course I will try to give you guys videoing of like my arm moving and all that. So I'll get to it. And yeah, this is the final swatches, and I hope you guys enjoyed them. I hope they helped. Guys, so now it is time to get into the comparisons. Currently, I only have 2 palettes from the brand. I have the Heather Austin palette, and then I have the Amunet palette. I have already done a video on the Heather Austin palette, so the event that you are interested, I will go ahead and have it linked down below. But just so that you guys know, this one right here is the Heather Austin, and this one is the Amunet. Now, when I'm looking at them in person, there are a couple like these kind of more neutral purpley tones that look similar. Other than that, in person, I don't see anything that looks very similar. Now let me look through the camera, and yeah, I think in the camera, it's really just these 2 that look similar as well in person. So those are the only 2 that I'm gonna swatch. And this one is Hey Y'all, and then this one is Anubis. So first is Hey Y'all, and this is Anubis. And I don't know if you can tell on camera, but in person I can tell that this is definitely a lighter purple base, and this one's definitely a darker, more cool toned. I think at that exact angle you guys can see the difference in the tones, although I think they have very similar shifts, and in pan they look very similar, but I'm sure on the eyes they look completely different. As you can see, I've really gotten some wear out of this one. You can see it in those shimmers. I haven't gotten there yet, but that's because I've only used this a couple of times when I've started to do this part of the video. So yeah, I think truly that's the only comparison. Like I said, I do have one on its way to me now, so once I get that, I'll do the exact same thing. I'll go ahead and swatch some comparisons. I will swatch it out in the event that you are interested in that one. And if you're wondering, I have the Hydrant on its way. Like I said, this is the Amunet, and this is the Adept Cosmetics and Heather Austin collaboration. So yeah, that's it. Now for real this time, let's go ahead and get into the tutorials. Hey guys, so last night was a rough day for me, and long story short, I need to film. I have my coffee. I almost never drink coffee on film, but I've started to drink coffee, so I figured out a new routine here. I still need to figure out the right ratio, but I'm very, very happy to have bought that. Hopefully now I can save a little bit more money, because I've been going in at Starbucks for the last like month or so. But anyways, I want to go ahead and film my first look with the Adept Cosmetics Amunet palette. I don't know how many looks I'm gonna do when I'm filming this part of the video, but I'm excited to do it nonetheless. So hopefully you guys enjoy the looks, and let's see what we're gonna do. I have absolutely no clean brushes, but let me just show you guys the inside of the palette, and that's washed out. Okay, I think that shows a better representation of what each shade looks like. I'm sure I did some form of swatching or something at the beginning of the video just so that you guys can kind of get an idea of it. I'm thinking I want to go super neutral today. And there's two browns, and then there's like a greeny brown and like a browny purple, so maybe I'll work with those. I don't really know. Let me get some clean brushes and then we'll dive right in. Okay, so I cleaned off 4 brushes very quickly, and of course 2 very big fluffy brushes, and then 1 flat shader brush, and then 1 kind of blender brush. So very happy with this kind of arrangement. And first, what I think I'm gonna do is I actually think I might clean off yet another brush. Yeah, I'm going to, because I want a slightly different shape to start off this look, and I just kind of decided that. So I'm gonna go into, I don't even know what this is, the darkest shade in the palette. That's the shade I'm gonna go into, and I am going to get that on my outer V area. And as you can see, it's nice and dark and rich, and I love that it is deeper than my skin tone. Absolutely love that. Okay, so that shade is pretty much set down, and then as usual, I'm just gonna slightly blend the outer edges. So as you can see, I blended out that outer shade just a little bit, not too much. Now what I'm gonna do is go into my Smith brush. I didn't zoom in. I did zoom in, I didn't scoot in, that one. Okay, now I'm gonna go into my Smith 232, and I wanna just kind of blend out that shade just a little bit with Froth, I think. I don't know, sis is playing me with these names. I just can't handle these names. Okay, so we're just gonna try and use that shade. Okay, so that's super light on my skin tone. Very light. So it pretty much looks like a beige shade. So like, think of this would be better. It's like an under eye setting powder, or under eye setting shade. But I did not know that. As you guys know, I don't swatch before I do my tutorials. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just add a little bit more of that first shade in my crease, just to bring back some life. I feel like that second shade I just used really took out all of the color and really just dulled this whole look out more than I wanted. All right, so I'm liking where that is right now. We'll see, I might add or take away, who knows. But next, I think I want to go into this like greeny browny shade. I don't really know what it is, but I'm gonna just take one of the Clionadh Cosmetics brushes. I know the last time I used an Adept Cosmetics palette, I didn't even try using brushes, so I figured I'd try today. And I'm just gonna apply this on my lid. So if you don't want like super saturated, like metallic, I think this will work. And I think it works for the look overall, but most likely in like my everyday life, I'm gonna actually just use my finger because it just foils it more. Super dark, sultry, cool tone look. I'm actually really vibing with this. And then for inner corner highlight, we have a couple of different options, and I don't know what I'm gonna choose. You know what I do? I'm just gonna use my highlighter. Should I use my highlighter or showcase another shade? Okay, I'll just showcase another shade. I'll be good. So I'm gonna use one of the other brushes that I cleaned off. This is the small tapered blending brush from Sigma, and I'm gonna go into Circuit, I believe. Who knows? And I'm just gonna use a very small amount in my inner corner. Very small amount. And actually, let's go ahead and just add that to the brow bone as well, just to bring out a little bit more of that green on my lid shade and to pull it a little bit different. I actually kind of like that. Okay, I'm gonna hop off camera. I'm gonna just put my liner, my mascara, lashes, all that jazz on real quick, and then I'll come back to show you guys the finished look. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. Alrighty guys, so like I said, this is the finished look, and I'm just gonna run through a couple of different highlights of products. Of course, you guys know what's on my eyes, but for lashes, I have on my MAC Heartbreaker 75 lashes. I bought these really cheap from BoxyCharm when they allowed me to purchase through them, even though I did not have an account or I wasn't subscribe to their membership or whatever. I also have on foundation wise the Makeup Forever HD Skin in 4 in 6/8. If you want to see this applied on my skin, check out my most recent new makeup Get Ready With Me. This would be showcased in there, and I just want to get some more usage out of that product. I also do have on one of my brows the Too Faced Fluff and Hold brow wax, and then on the other I have my NYX wax. I'm not going to tell you which was on which. I just want to see the difference between longevity of them both, because these are two of kind of, I would say, my favorite brow waxes in my collection right now. So I wanted to see the difference between them long term. On my lips is the Maybelline lipstick that I've been wearing. Let me get it real quick. So on my lips is the Maybelline Untamed Spice lipstick. I just really enjoy the color. It really looks like my skin, but slightly different. And I also really enjoy the finish. It's that cream formula, so it's not super drying. It works beautifully right now. If there's anything else that you're really intrigued by knowing, just check out down below. I will hopefully have everything down there for you all. But with that said, that's all for look number one. Like I said, I don't know how many looks I'm going to be able to swing. I'm going to try to aim for 3, but if not, I will definitely aim for 2, and I will definitely have my normal swatches, comparisons, all of that at the beginning, and you guys will have seen that. And of course, check out the timestamps if you want to jump around to any part of this video. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next look. So for today, I'm going to be bringing you guys look number 2 with the Amunet palette. As you can see, I've already done one side, and we're just going to dive right on in. Yeah, so I already have my eye primed once again with my About Face primer. And the way that I started this look, I actually went in with the Refer 14 brush, and I went into Hours. Why am I second guessing myself? That's not Hours. The U is after the R. Horus, I believe. So that, I went to the gray shade. We're going to go with that. I went into the gray shade. And what I'm going to do is pack that on my outer V area and in my crease. I'm not going to go all the way over to my inner corner, but I do want to kind of start to blend this shade out. I'm also going to put this down on my lower lash line as well. Okay, so I just applied that shade where I felt it was necessary. Then I'm actually going to go ahead and kind of already begin to blend this out, but I'm going to blend it out with a different color and a different brush, and this is the Smith 230 brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Seth, which is the blue. Originally I was just going to use this color, and that was going to be my only crease color, but to me it kind of pulls a very gray toned blue, and so I figured let's just go ahead and use these two shades together in my tutorials. And so I'm going to start really putting a lot of the color on this inner corner, and then as I go slightly with less product, I'm going to go to this outer edge and kind of blend that out. I am of course also going to blend my lower lash line, and there is a slight winging effect in today's look, but not overly like yesterday. Now for me, I really was hoping to have more impact with that gray, more depth, but you just don't get it. You don't get it, not compared to the blue when it goes onto my skin tone. So that's definitely something that I'm going to remember when I am playing with this palette. But that said, I just took a stiffer brush. This is the ColourPop E9, and I'm just bringing the color closer to the middle of my eye, because then it'll just help with the blending process. Then I'm gonna go into the shade Re, or R-E. I don't know how they want you to say it. And I'm just gonna use my finger this time. You guys know I prefer to use my finger. And this looks like a really pretty, like, gray based multi-chrome, which I think is really why it works with the crease colors that I use, because even this blue really just looks very gray based. It doesn't look like a true blue. It doesn't look like a navy blue, at least not on my complexion and in this look. So yeah, I really think that this kind of gray toned multi-chrome really just works overall. And then really quickly for inner corner highlight, I am actually going to go into the shade Anubis. And I'm just going to use a pencil brush. This happens to be from Mikasa. I have absolutely no idea if this brand is still available at all. And I'm just going to, you know, put it in my inner corner, slightly in my lower lash line, slightly on my upper lid. And that's the look. Very, very simple look today. What I'm going to do is hop off camera, of course, put on my liners, mascaras. I think I'm going to go ahead and put on lashes. I think I'm going to film another video after, and I just like lashes in my videos lately. So yeah, let me do all of that and then I'll come back to show you guys the finished look. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. So I'm not sure, you may have still seen some glue. That tends to happen sometimes just because I jump right back in on video and I don't really let the glue kind of really dry. So do be kind on that. But of course, I am still wearing the same lashes as I did yesterday, which are the MAC 75 Heartbreaker. I'm just going to try and wear the same base products as I did yesterday throughout this whole video, so it's just easier for you guys and easier for me. So of course that means that I'm also wearing the Hourglass highlighter in this trio, which is Prismatic Strobe Light. It's really, really beautiful. That is of course the highlighter that I'm wearing. Blush is Project Pan. Lip product is the Maybelline lipstick in Untainted Spice. And then of course foundation is the Makeup Forever that I'm still testing out. Everything else is pretty much Project Pan, so just check out down below. I will have it all listed for you guys. But with that said, this is look number 2. Let's go ahead and jump into look number 3, and then I will wrap up my current thoughts when it comes to the Amunet palette after testing it out 3 times and having my background now of wearing quite a few of their palettes in the past. So yeah, let's get to it. Hey guys, so I'm doing my editing and I realized that my camera for whatever reason was not recording my audio. I think I forgot to plug it fully in, but I am rambling per usual, and basically I did prime my eye per usual with the About Face primer, and I'm going to be going into that shade right there, which is the main purple in this palette. I have absolutely no idea how to say it, so I'm not even going to play myself now that I've been able to ignore my terrible attempt. I'm just going to put that all throughout my crease and even on my outer V and my lower lash line. And I really wanted that to be the main shade in this look, and so that is why I'm putting it all of those places. I did make sure to go ahead and wing it out just a little bit. I've really been enjoying that vibe and that look, so that's why I kind of continued with winging the shade out in today's look. So now you can see that it is now finished, and I'm going to pick up the palette and we're going to go ahead and dive into the next shade, which is going to be the deep brown. I really wanted to deepen up this look. You guys know I love a nice amount of depth in any of my looks, and so I just picked up a different brush. Okay, so last shade really for this look is my lid shade, and I'm going to go into that really beautiful And Her shade, I believe, and that's going to go all over my lid with my finger. And then at the very end, I'm going to be showing you guys my inner corner highlight, which I actually am going to use a brush for it then. Alrighty, now I'm going to use another BK Beauty brush, and I think that's the 201 if I'm recalling correctly, and I'm just going to go into another kind of white to colorful duochrome that they have in this palette, and that's going to go right into my inner corner. I did not expect it to be as tealy green as it is, but I still think it overall comes together and creates a really pretty look, so I'm not too mad about it. And then I'm actually going to wipe off that brush, and I'm going to dip a little bit into the lid shade with the brush just to help blend that shade in. Just because of how stark it is, I felt like I needed to kind of do that to make it all kind of blend in together. And so yeah, that's the finished look. I'm just going to add a liner, mascara, lashes on both eyes, and I'll come back to show you guys the finished look. Alrighty, so fun for you guys. You get to hear my voice like this again, but this is the finished look. We're just going to ignore all of the glue that hasn't really dried and is in weird spots, and we're going to look at the eyeshadow. I think it looks good. Anyways, zooming out, and here we go. So as for this palette, I genuinely enjoy it. I think that both the matte and the shimmer formula is very indicative of what I experienced in the Heather Austin palette. I appreciate that we not only have shimmers, but we also have some multi-chromes in there and some duochromes. Although it doesn't give different varieties in textures, it allows you to have a different variety in kind of the combinations that you can do. The main thing that I was really talking about in this part of the video was that I wished that the gray was either a really light blue or that it was a dark black. I just think that the difference between that gray and the blue on my eye is not very big, and so that was kind of disappointing to me. Other than that, honestly, I think this palette is really pretty, and if it's a color scheme that you're interested in, I would definitely recommend it. I really do think the quality is top notch. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Sorry about this really terrible ending. Hopefully in my next video, I will have actually plugged in my mic so we won't have to do this again. Alrighty, I'll see you guys on Friday for my next Fragrance Friday, where I will be highlighting all of the fragrances that I picked up during the summer months. And yeah, see you guys then. Bye guys.